I'm Maria Mingalone, Executive Director of the Oceanside Museum of Art. Tonight, OMA presents our Spring 2021 exhibition, Celebration. Tonight is about celebrating art and the incredible artistic talent that exists in our community. At OMA, art is for everyone. We want you to feel inspired wherever you are, which is why we are bringing this celebration to you. The next time you visit the museum, we invite you to take a stroll through our galleries, experiencing everything from paintings to sculpture to full gallery installations. We also have artwork that extends beyond the museum's walls, such as this dynamic new sculpture by Matt Devine on the corner of Ditmar and Pierview Way, right in front of the Oceanside Museum of Art. Offshore will be there to greet you the next time you visit the museum, or simply drive or walk by to see it. The Matt Devine sculpture isn't the only artwork you can experience outside the museum. There's work by Manuelita Brown, and of course there is the James Hubble sculpture that always graces OMA's terrace. If you want to get out and see more outdoor sculpture, I invite you to visit the San Diego Botanic Garden to see Wild and Beautiful, an outdoor installation of 13 artworks by OMA's own Artist Alliance members. These are great examples of how art can be integrated into the fabric of everyday life, which is what we're all about at OMA. Tonight we're going to dive into 4 new incredible exhibitions. Amanda Catchadorian, Botanical Hybridity of San Diego's Multicultural History, Kevin Vincent, Material Memory, inspired selections from OMA's staff, and 20 women artists now, supported by Robin J. Littman in honor of Patty Cooprider. Let's start off by hearing from artist Amanda Catchadorian, whose exhibition I'm in right now. Her work explores the history and multiculturalism of the San Diego region through the beautiful paintings she makes of hybrid botanicals. Then you're going to hear from our exhibitions manager and registrar, Katie Dolgov, to tell you more about the other great exhibitions we're here to celebrate. But first, Amanda Catchadorian.
Hi, my name is Amanda Catchadorian. Welcome to my exhibition, Botanical Hybridity of San Diego's Multicultural History at Oceanside Museum of Art. I received my bachelor's degree in art at the University of California, Berkeley, and have been a working artist for the past 4 years. Having been born in San Diego, California, and raised predominantly in Chula Vista, I've always been interested in the vast history and culture of the land that I grew up in. As I researched the various histories of San Diego, from the indigenous Kumeyaay tribe, from the Gold Rush era, up to our modern society, we've gone through many changes in our community, and I hope that I represent that through my work. I love to use oil paintings because it allows me to have the freedom to create hybrid plants that are surrealist in nature and create virgin landscapes of San Diego that once existed. The first step when creating my artwork, I start with a specific location I want to base the painting off of, and then I research the history of the area and all the cultures that have influenced the region throughout history. Then I collect the plants that are native to the respective regions and create hybrid botanicals based off of those regions. When it comes to creating the hybrid plants, I take 2 approaches. One more spontaneous and free, or taking a plant that grows naturally in its environment and replacing elements and aspects of it with other plants that necessarily wouldn't exist in the plant. I'm honored to have my artwork exhibited and displayed with generations of history of San Diego shown through my work, and I hope that you enjoy visiting the exhibition at Oceanside Museum of Art.
Hi, I'm Katie Dolgov, Exhibitions Manager and Registrar here at OMA. We are so lucky to be able to work with creative minds like Amanda and the artist whose work we'll learn about next, Kevin Vincent. Local San Diego artists who tackle big, meaningful subjects through such engaging and relatable work. Amanda and Kevin's exhibitions both focus on botanic subject matter and explore similar themes of personal identities and history, but in completely different ways. I am just blown away by these two exhibitions, both by the richness of the imagery and impact of the message. And there's nothing like being in this space, immersed in this extraordinary artwork. I can't wait for you to come to the museum and take a look, but for now, I'll turn you over to Kevin to get a sneak peek at his installation, Material Memory.
Hi, I'm Kevin Vincent. Welcome to my exhibition, Material Memory. I was inspired to make this work through the ongoing exploration of natural materials, mainly wood and rope. Wood, for me, represents the body because, in my opinion, trees and humans relate a lot to each other. They both grow, they both can die very easily, and they both have a way of showing their history. And rope, for me, represents historical trauma, but also represents some very precious childhood memories of me spending time with my grandparents and just enjoying myself as a child. So a lot of the work is trying to understand materials better and get back to the way that I felt about rope and wood initially as a child. The work really has become cathartic for me, as the more that I work with the rope, the less fear and negative connotations come into play. So I'm kind of pushing it back on the cue, and when I look at rope, I'm thinking about art, I'm thinking about sculpture and building and perseverance and moving on. These works are made using drills, screws. The piece in the far corner has over 300 screws in it, embedding the rope to the wood, really pushing this connection that the rope and the historical trauma is embedded in people and would require tons of effort to remove. It has become part of us, and anyone that goes through any sort of trauma, it is part of them. So the work really tries to have the rope flow through and change forms as it moves through the trees. Sculpture in itself is hard to photograph and kind of get the full feel of everything. Coming to the museum to see the show would allow you to walk through and under the tree and get the different experiences as you move along around the light. As they shimmer, the rope has a very reflective quality because of the way that it's made, and that is accentuated in the gallery. I'm super excited to be showing in this museum. I never really thought that I would get a chance to show my thesis work and the things that I had really put my all into over the last 3 years. So being able to have such a large space to myself allowed me to make my largest piece to date, and really got a chance to work through some of the things I had been thinking about and watch them evolve as I worked on this piece.
Southern California's rich history and vibrant culture means OMA gets to engage with a vast community of creative people and exceptional art makers, such as Amanda Catchadorian and Kevin Vincent. But there are so many amazing artists out there, it feels impossible to get to know them all. To create our next exhibition, Inspired Selections from OMA Staff, the exhibition department invited OMA team members to suggest local artists whose work really stands out to them. Our team is an eclectic group of art appreciators. The undertaking of forming relationships with as many artists in our community as possible can only benefit by tapping into the team's collective knowledge. So now, take a moment and enjoy these inspired staff selections. There's nothing like a strong sense of community to offer support and inspiration, especially over the last year as artists and art institutions have navigated some pretty unprecedented challenges. Within San Diego's remarkable arts community, the collective 20 Women Artists, formed in 2015, is a diverse group with a mission to give guidance and support to members and share information, education, and opportunities. Working with curator Alessandra Moctezuma, the selected works in the final exhibition we'll be hearing about this evening by these 20 artists demonstrates how art has the power to interpret and transform our lives and embodies the healing power of creative expression. Here is Alessandra and Julia C.R. Gray, a member of the group and the artist who initially conceived this project, to introduce us to the exhibition 20 Women Artists Now.
We are in this space that we're really here after all the time and all the planning that we've done. We put a proposal together, which OMA accepted in 2019, with the understanding that we would be showing this exhibition in 2021. And it was so important to me that we had Alessandra Moctezuma as our curator. She just really helped us during a difficult time of creating work during 2020. And I do not think this exhibition would be as great as it is without her support. So I'm really happy that Alessandra's here.
I was really excited to work with a fantastic group of very diverse artists in terms of their approach to their work. When we began brainstorming for the exhibit and we were talking about artists responding to the moment, we never realized that 2020 would be such a momentous year. We were living the experiences of the pandemic, of being isolated in our homes, and then we also had the outrage because of George Floyd, climate change, and how that is affecting our earth. So that started to shape the exhibition, all of the things that we were experiencing at that time. As you walk into this exhibition, you are going to be able to connect and see many of the things that we experienced this year. And I think that you're all going to be able to see hope and find hope in many of the works in this exhibit. And that's why I think that this is so important. This is a year that's going to be a watershed moment in history. And we are all going to be able to relay those experiences. And as we walk through the space, we are going to be able to connect and touch these works with our hearts and with our memories.
The amazing thing is that we were not painting together. Everyone was in their own studio. We were not seeing each other's work. We were not sharing really what our colors were, but you can see conversations between the work. When you walk up, you can see the gold touches in here and here and here, and it touches onto the other work, and it flows so beautiful. And I'm really happy with Alessandra's curating and just how well it fits in this beautiful space. All the work has space around it, so you can enjoy the single piece, or if you just glance out of the side of your eye, you can see how that red talks to the red and the little dots here, and the pink moves around the room. And it's just amazing because, as I mentioned, we all worked alone in our studios. And we hoped, I had a vision, that it would all flow together, and it's just exceeded all of my expectations.
I think that Oceanside Museum of Art is one of our premier institutions in San Diego County. I always admired how they support our local artists, and I hope that people will come and visit and be able to experience the beautiful works that artists have created during this very difficult time.
At OMA, we believe art is something that everyone should experience and be a part of. The 4 exhibitions that you heard about tonight really demonstrate how creative expression can be part of larger global conversations and how thoughtful discussions can be had around impactful topics using art as the connecting point. Thank you again for joining us. We can't wait to welcome you back to the museum soon. Take care and have a great evening.